Alrighty guys, welcome back. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the unboxing of the AEM Water Meth kit. We're going to go through and go through the installation from start to finish for the Mark IV platform GTI 1.8T, and it'll be the right hand drive version, but you know, US guys or left hand drive guys, you can still install it as well. It's just placing the controllers on a different side, that's all. And fuse boxes on the other side obviously, but yeah. Before we get started, so why I'm installing water meth, you can see that I'm sweating outside sitting here already. It's 33 degree day Celsius. That's like, you know, 100 degree Fahrenheit or whatever it is, so quite warm. And the intake air temperatures get warmer, especially when you're driving it for longer periods of time. And if you've ever driven cars in that weather, in this weather, especially when it's humid, the car can feel like it's not on boost at all. In my case, there's a lot of timing pull. It's cutting back a lot. When you're getting timing pull, yeah, you're just not getting the right amount of power that you're supposed to be getting as part of your tune with the fuel that you're supposed to be using. So water methanol kits are supposed to lower those temperatures. So you know, on a day like today, your intercooler can only do so much. It'll get to ambient air temperature maybe if you've got a massive intercooler, but then you got to fight against, you know, pressure drop and all that stuff. But yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, you can get a good intercooler system and it'll get it down pretty low, but you're still gonna, you know, experience some form of timing pull. But yeah, this is going to lower it hopefully way below ambient air temperature to help against that, and will give it the full power that it's meant to have as part of the tune. So I'm supposed to be rocking around 230 240 horsepower, so hopefully I can retain that and not let that drop because of heat soaking and timing pull. So yeah, right onto it now. After spending a day out as a family, I've just finished mocking up the water meth res and the pump. So yeah, it's not going anywhere. So I managed to plumb it in, and now it'll be wiring the electrics. Alrighty, back again with another video for the water meth. So what I'm planning to do here is I'm going to stick this across. I'm going to attempt to drag the clothes hanger across. The deal is, I'm going to put this harness, which connects up to the control, to the other side, so I can I don't know, drill it to, drill it to the other part of the lower footrest, so I can mount it there. So I don't know if I need to pull this, but I'm going to put this onto the clothes hanger somehow and pull it across. So yeah, let's see how we go. Alright, success on my end. Managed to feed the wire through. So the controller so the controller will hopefully sit over here, and I can make adjustments in cabin. Should do the trick. Alright, and the low indicator LED, I have made a hole, and I'm thinking I'm going to put it here. Yeah, I'll put it on this side, I'm going to do the on and off switch for the methanol switch. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Put that there, and that will be the meth injection. So yeah, so I'm going to have to feed 4 wires down the cabin. I'm going to go this side so I can run it all the way to the boot and then get access from the left hand side, so I can wire it to the pump and 2 wires to the low indicator. Now the low indicator, I believe, is here, and that'll plug right in. So there you go. So that will just plug in from there, and the wires will come up from, get some room to feed the wires through. So I'm going to need, from the instructions of course, reading, I'm going to need the brown wire, okay, I need the brown wire, the white wire, and the orange wire. So this orange, okay, put all these together. Oh, let me untangle the mess and come back. Alrighty, so this is going to go down to, I've just tried to run it down the passenger side all the way to the boot. So I'll run the wires now behind all this. I think this is just lift up kind of job, and come back. There's a bit of an update. I've got the after I put the wires down the side of the car, I've now crimped the plug wires to the sensor, low sensor, so that goes there. So that's the 2 wires, and then there's another orange and pink wire that I have wired up to go underneath to the pump. I had to extend the wires a little bit, but there it is. Okay, there's you got to push the tabs in, push that tabs in, and then the plug thing comes out. So I'm gonna have to have a look here to see which side is in and out, and see if I can cut these tubes to size, and then I'll run the other one up again. So one's going to go in, one's going to go out, from the tank to the inside of the pump, and outside of the pump it's going to pump out 200 psi pressure through to inside the cabin again. So I'm going to have to feed this through, the rest through to the cabin, out to the side of the car, into the grommet that I already have, and I think that's it. Everything else is like in cabin wiring, so there's only one tube that goes out. I need to tee into the boost tube, which is quite simple because I've got a boost gauge going in to the car already, which goes to the controller, and all the rest of it is, I think there's like 1 wire I don't use. Black and white goes to the battery. Actually, I need to wire these 2 to the battery, so while I'm doing that, okay, so black and red goes to battery power, yellow goes to a fuse that runs off ignition. That'll tell the AEM unit to turn on and off, and this is where we can wire up the switch as well, the on and off switch. And I'm going to wire the on and off switch to here, so I can turn off the meth injection on the fly. I'll only run it on hot days, or if I feel like the temps starting to rise above 30-40, whack it on. Hopefully it drops down again, just so I'm not wasting meth on, you know, daily driving. Rest of it appears to be just wiring for inside. So two of it's going to be for the gotta read the instructions, but two for the LED light for the low indicator, and the other two I'll have to check, but yeah, figure it out once I get there. Okay, but these are going to stay in the car. This is probably going to run across here and then across to the fuse. This is going to go through the grommet along with the hose for the meth. So yeah, going to check out what's in and out and go from there. Right, so water line's plumbed in. Yep, water line's plumbed in. Got one going from the bottle to bottle to the pump that way, and the pump out back around there to the front of the car. So that's all nice and it's all nice and neat here. It's going down the side, and then it stops here. I'm going to get my coat hanger and see if I can pull the rest of these wires through. Okay guys, so it's going to go through where the red wire goes, pretty much. Boost, got a boost hose going through there as well. It's pretty much a hose that's being used for everything. I've got wires coming out of there. Boost, I'll stick it through, and then I will show you where it comes out of from the other side. Go through there. Alrighty, so it was easier to feed it through from the inside of the cabin, and what I've done is gone through and I need some light, but you go through this corner here, there is a little hole, yep, little hole there, grommet. If you've got nothing there initially, there might be just some wires, like a thick wire for the OEM wires, and then yeah, you're just pulling through the wires through there. So initially you might just have to poke a hole with a screwdriver or something, make it bigger, and then yeah, you can go for it. So this is a bit tangled, but you know, it's through, luckily. I'm probably going to don't know. Put this back for OEM fitment, whatever plug that is, and pretty much yeah, I'm going to run it up the through the engine bay so I can zip tie it all the way through here. Zip tie it there, and because it's all black, it looks OEM anyway. And it's probably just going to be enough to get it plumbed into the throttle body. So that'll be, yeah, I'm going to get a the nozzle notched in, maybe that way or that way, probably that way, and then run it like so. Yeah, so that's pretty much prepped and ready to go for the nozzle side of things. These two are going to go to terminal and get it into the fuse box in here. So I think yeah, so I'll get one into, I'm just going to use one of these, or just yeah, tie it into one of these. Maybe there, yeah, I'll do it there, and black I'll just tee it into one of those. So that's it. Now the rest of it's wiring up the LED and controller, which is up there, and the controller is going to be boost reference as well. Look at that, and some of these wires. I have already a boost gauge on this side, so somewhere underneath here I'll grab the boost reference And then yeah, just put in the boost reference there, plug in the controller, and yeah, when the car's on, it should. Yeah, I haven't figured out where to mount it yet, to be honest. Should I do it here? Wonder if it came with some double-sided tape. Anyway, hard part's almost done. There's a lot of boost hose. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alrighty guys, another update. I've teed the boost reference from the boost gauge. So there was a hose coming from other side, and I've pulled it out, teed it in, and the socket for the controller, okay, is there, and the hose is on this side as well. And yeah, so that's ready to be hooked up, and I'll test that. This yellow one is ignition, so we're gonna have to look for an ignition fuse. I'm probably just going to jump one of these, probably easier, and wire in this LED. It's just the little small things now. So that's going to be the LED indicator for the water meth being low. It's going to come from one of these wires. But yeah, it's moving along now, so let me check what other wires there are. Back again, I've managed to feed the 2 wires in using the good old coat hanger again. Just, you know, sticking it right through, pulling it out from the bottom there, and 2 of these will go on the LED indicator that I've drilled and placed. So I'm going to find out which goes where. And this yellow one I'm preparing for the ignition switch. So when the car is on, that'll trigger the controls to switch everything on. I'm going to do another secondary switch here, which I have found a switch to use. Don't know how reliable it is, and don't know if it's working or not, but that's what I'm going to do. And maybe mount it, you know, maybe mount it there or something. Don't know yet, but I'm going to cut a little bit of a hole out of these brackets to fit the switch. But yeah, I'm going to wire these 2 LEDs in first, and then reroute some of this yellow wire across for the ignition switch. So yeah, should be pretty getting pretty close now. Just got to do the nozzle, power to the battery, find a place to stick this down or drill down. Yeah, let's see how we go. Alright, so it's looking a bit neater. I've wired in the LED light with that purple and grey. This is the ignition wire, so I'm going to put a switch through that. And I've used a coat hanger yet again to wire it in through, feed it through to here, and this is where I will splice into one of these. So yeah, alrighty guys, not the most elegant way of doing this, but that's it there. Oop. Probably need some more electrical tape there. I'm gonna zip tie that down perhaps, but no, that's maybe even zip tie these together for comfort. I might just do that now. So what else is in the bag of goodies? Like that. But yeah, that's the setup now. So that's going to sit there and hopefully won't hit my leg when I'm driving. But all in all, coming along nicely. Alrighty, bit of an update with the install. So I've just got a switch and I'm gonna wire it in. Yeah, I'm gonna wire it in. I'm thinking of going a circular switch, just to match the light, I'm gonna say, and that'll trigger the water meth pump, or the actual controller if I'm turning on or not. So that'll control whether I'm using water meth altogether. I also got some. I also got some fuse thingos. That's the switch. So I'm thinking of going with this one, or maybe this one. It's not too bad either. And the last one is a square one. So this is a pretty basic one. So I got some options, and also some fuses. So that's going to be the rest of the install, the power for this yellow one, and yeah, then I'm just waiting for the nozzle, so that'll be the last piece of the puzzle really. So off, on, red means no good, no water, I think. Working. Yep, that's on. I can hear water. Yep. Pumping water right. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just gotta tidy it up now. And off she goes. Right, that's the nozzle. Goes all the way to the boot through that little grommet there. Probably need to tidy it up a bit, or cut it down a little bit, but the nozzle's probably going to sit somewhere down here, I'm going to say, in this little space here. So it'll stick out probably that much, and then the end of it will connect to that nozzle. It'll spray mist into the intake, and it'll go through the intake air sensor. You'll see that the air is lower temperature, and hopefully it won't pull time. And if it does jack shit, then I'll just have to bin it. Everything plumbed up, controller in, switch in, everything's working as it should. Got the pump in, and it's connected back there. Got my meth, water meth. I'm going to do 50-50 mix at a later stage. Nozzle's in. I'm going to test the nozzle now before I hook it up to the inlet pipe. So it's going to go onto the silicon pipe, and then it's going to spray. It's going to spray. So I'm going to probably situate it there. I'm going to test from inside the car and look at the spray pad. So I'm pretty happy with the nozzle. I know that nozzle's working, so I'm going to take it apart and pack it up, and I'm just waiting for one more bit to mount the nozzle into the inlet, and it's going to spray mist like water meth, and it'll go into the engine. It'll go past and cool the air down, and provide a bit more octane into the engine as well. So right, so something came in the mail today, exactly what I'm missing. This is a Snow Performance meth adapter nozzle, and if I can get this open, and it's supposed to adapt the nozzle onto the silicone elbow that I have. So look, not everyone has a silicone elbow. Some people have a hard pipe, some people have silicone, some people have plastic. I've got silicone, so I've ordered the adapter for it, and it will run with the nozzle that I have from AEM. So that will go together. I'm going to need a 19mm spade to open up the hole big enough so that I can pop the adapter on and go from there. So let's take the elbow off first. So I'm going to need 7mm, another 7mm, and this elbow should come off. Righto, got the elbow off, and I've marked up roughly where I want the nozzle to be. When it's installed, I want it to be on that side, ready to go. So I'm going to use this bit, drill it in there, like that. I'll come back when it's done. Alright, so this was a bit painful, but just wanted to make it clear that I didn't end up using the 19mm spade bit because it was too small. I ended up going 25, and it still just stretched over just enough, and I'm going to hope that this isn't going to be a cause of a boost leak, but yeah. So now I'm going to go and wash all the crap off now, and I actually used a 36mm bit and just hand tighten it in, just one hand holding the inside bit because I can't get any tools in. So just one hand holding it, one hand on the 36, and this is meant to be for the wheel hub for I think a Honda CR-V or something like that. Glad to know that it's being used again, and the nozzle should go on there. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a wash. Gonna use some thread sealant on the nozzle, just there, and then I'm gonna install it. So alrighty, so that's the thread sealant, and you just then get the nozzle on like that. Shouldn't be too much of a drama. I'm gonna get this on as tight as I can, but not too tight where I over tighten it. Probably at 12. It's 13. Alright, so just get that on, tighten it to the point where it's good enough, and yeah, we'll see if this leaks or something. Alright, so that's what it looks like with it on tight. Now I might have to actually make this a little bit shorter, or the line's a little bit shorter, but it's going to go on like that, with the nozzle connected, and make sure no dirt and stuff gets in there. So I can see a bit of crap in here already. Make sure that's all off. Don't want anything in the intake. Gotta pop it back on the boost charge pipes, Jubilee clip back on, and I'm gonna go from there. So that's back on, torqued down, the nozzles on the side. This tube from the boot will connect onto there. It's a quick connect. I just have, I'll probably cut that much off. So I'm going to size it up roughly. But first I'm going to purge the system again. So I've had mineral water in there, so I'm going to purge it with some meth and actual demineralized water, and mix my own meth. So 50-50, so I'm going to do it's 2 liters and then another 2 liters of meth, 50-50 meth. So yeah, come back when it's done. Alrighty, so 2 liters of water, 2 liters of meth. Let's go put it in and see how she runs. Right, make sure there's no leaks in here, but yes, I'll just pour that in. It's going to take some skill here. Check for leaks. No leaks. It's not leaking in here. Awesome. Pop everything back and install the nozzle. Right, so just finished purging the system. I'm ready to cut this down to size. And yeah. Oh, put that in. Right, so I'm going to cut it down and pop it in. Right, so that's done. Meth injection install is done. Tested the nozzle, tested the lines, purged it. There's power going to the unit. The only thing left to do now is to fire this bad boy and take it for a drive. Alrighty guys, this is going to be the first drive with water meth. So it's on, it's engaged, the low dim light means it's on, triggered. I can turn it off if I want to. 28 degrees ambient, 28 degrees ambient, Celsius that is. Measuring blocks, and I'm going to check. So that's the intake air temperature at the bottom, 34.5. Coolant temperature 60 degrees. So yeah, I'll take it for a bit of a spin, and fingers crossed it lowers the temperatures. So see how it runs. So AFRs look good so far. Hopefully there's no boost leaks. Seems like there's no vacuum leaks at the moment, but who knows what how the nozzle adapter goes. Fingers crossed. Alright, so I've driven around for about 10-15 minutes, and on idle it's about 37.5, and when I'm driving on boost it's about 34, 33. So you know, it drops to about 4 or 5, 6 above ambient temperature. That's the best my intercooler can do. It's a front mount. So yeah, I'm going to try and switch on the meth next, because I drove around without the meth, and I'll do it with the meth next. And yeah, a bit nervous. I am a bit nervous, I'll say. Just today I was driving to the shops to buy some lunch actually, and the intercooler pipe popped off. So I managed to get it back on and get it home, but yeah, that's left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth for trying new things. But as I'm idling, because it's such a warm day today, you know, it's rising up to 30, 39. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 40 degrees for the intake air temperature. Yeah, so let's go for a test drive with meth on. Alright, Meth is on. Oh, it dropped to ambient temperature. Damn. Alright, well that's never happened before in summer. And yeah, look, I didn't feel any power difference or anything, but certainly this has potential. I mean, if I get a tune for it and get a slightly more aggressive tune, it'll yeah, it'll add more power for sure. Fuck. 24 degrees. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's climbing back up again. Does it work? Does it work? Yes, it does. Below ambient. Ambient right now is going up to 32 degrees outside. I need to do a U-turn. Get on the juice again. Can I say that it works? Yes, it does. So 25, I think I saw. Alrighty, sorry guys. I had to go out to the beach this afternoon with the family, but briefly testing water meth, it did work. I actually went through the video again, and it went down, dropped down to 22.5 degrees on a 32 degree day. So that's well below ambient air temperature, which, yeah, I mean, I'm able to sustain the power that I've got right now between, you know, 230 or 240 horsepower, whatever that is. Very fun to drive around, but not so fun in the heat, because I can feel the timing being pulled and it doesn't feel like a turbo car. So where's the fun in that? But yeah, so what did I get up to? So the water meth works. Would I do it again? Definitely. If I have another tuned car in the future, definitely consider putting more water meth in after the car has been tuned and worked on. It's probably one of the last mods you would want to do to sustain the power, to avoid all of the heat soak that can happen during hot days. Obviously during the cooler months, I've built in a switch in the car so I can turn it off. Don't have to run water meth all day every day, only when I need it. So that's the other part. Am I going to get a tune for water meth? Probably not. I just want to use it for intake air temp cooling. If you run a tune for water meth, I'm going to need a lot more safety measures built in place, because if you run out of meth, it can blow your engine if you're on boost. So one thing I'd probably want is to get a flow gauge in there to see how much, if at all, it is flowing or not. It does have an LED, but that's probably not enough. I'd probably want a built-in safety mechanism as well. So if it runs out of meth, then it triggers the ECU to run a lower, less aggressive tune, or find out a way to turn off the N75 for VAG cars, so that it'll run on a wastegate boost pressure. But other than that, thanks a lot for watching. This is going to be a long video because I did space it out over a couple of weeks, and finally got it done. It works, love it. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Play around with other kits maybe, but AEM has been pretty solid so far. I did run into some issues. The AEM kit wasn't the tank wasn't put together, bolted in correctly, so I had to tighten it up a little bit. to make sure that it wasn't leaking. Lucky, you know, when you install the meth tank, you do want to test everything out, make sure you do a leak test, put some water in, run, you know, test the pump, and yeah, what else? The nozzle, I changed the nozzle to run 250cc what is it, adapter, I'm going to say. I didn't take a video of that because I forgot, but there is the instructions are on the AEM site in the PDF. It's pretty clear, it tells you step by step which bits to put in first, and I just followed that and yeah, had no issues. So all in all, I will be running some more runs. There's going to be a hot few days coming up, 4 days worth of 34 or 32 degree day plus, so I'm going to run water meth and report back and see how we go. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you like the content so far. I've got more content coming, but yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and see you in the next video.